Hey guys, my name is Amanda and I'm one of your nurses in the birthing center at Halifax Regional Medical Center. I'm going to do a demonstration to explain the difference between Braxton Hicks contractions, early labor, and active labor, and how your cervix starts to thin out and dilate. Hopefully this will help you to determine what point you need to come to the hospital. So for this demonstration, I'm using a balloon with a ping pong ball inside. The ping pong ball would be like your baby's head. This part of the balloon is your uterus, and the tip of the balloon is your cervix. So before you go into labor, your cervix is long and thick and closed inside. You can actually start experiencing Braxton Hicks contractions as early as 20 weeks of pregnancy. What Braxton Hicks contractions do is squeeze your uterus from the side. All this is doing is toning up and building strength in your uterus for when it's time for you to go in active labor. As you can see, these Braxton Hicks contractions do nothing to your cervix. Your cervix is still long, it's still staying closed and thick. Braxton Hicks contractions may feel like tightening in your belly. Some people say it feels like my baby's balling up. Some people don't even realize they're having them at all. As you get closer to your due date, they will start to get a little more uncomfortable. You might feel a little bit of cramping, a little bit of backache, and a lot of pressure down below. These are all normal signs of Braxton Hicks contractions and you approaching your due date. As you go into early labor, this is the longest stage of labor. This can last anywhere from a few hours to a few days. If this is your first pregnancy, usually it's more on the few days side. If you've already had a baby before, typically your labor gets faster and faster with each child, so it may only last a few hours for you. During early labor, your contractions are squeezing from the top of your uterus, and what it's doing is ripening your cervix, which means it's helping it to thin out and shorten up and helping you to dilate a little bit. Typically, in early labor, your contractions are irregular. They can be anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes apart. They might feel like some menstrual cramping. Now, you don't have to rush to the hospital in early labor. Like I said, the only thing that's really going on here is your cervix is getting ready for active labor. Once you go into active labor, your contractions are going to get a little more intense, a little more uncomfortable. They're going to be very regular, every 5 minutes or even closer. If you've been experiencing contractions that are at least every 5 minutes or closer for at least an hour, that's probably the point that you should come to the hospital. In active labor, you start to thin out all the way. You start to dilate a little more. When you're going from 4 centimeters to 7 centimeters, this is active labor. The last stage of labor is the transitional period. This is when you're going from 8 centimeters to fully dilated, which is 10 centimeters. Once you get fully dilated and your baby's head has come into your pelvis, this is when we have you start pushing. So, as you can see, the baby's head is coming down. You're completely dilated. We're going to say start pushing now. So as you push, and you push your baby down even more and more, your baby starts crowning, and there you go. You just delivered your baby. So I hope this helps. Every labor is different. Every baby is different. Every person is different. Everybody's plan for labor is different. So for whatever your plan is, I hope this video does help you to know at what point you want to come to the hospital. Happy laboring!